Guidry, and I'm a bassoonist and composer and improviser and visual artist. Currently based in Brooklyn, New York, but I'm originally from Houston, Texas. So I have the buckets hat on. I always got to represent, you know. But I'm very excited to be a part of this and present my impact today with Composers Now. And what I'll be presenting is my album Radical Acceptance. It is actually most of the album except for a couple tracks. So the way that this is gonna flow today might be a little different than others. Is I'm just gonna tell you a bit about the album now, and then we'll listen together, and then at the end I'll see you again. So with the album Radical Acceptance, the term itself is about just accepting the things in your life that, even though it hurts and it sucks, that you can't exactly change. You know, I can't change my childhood. I cannot change what happened to me. But I can have an amazing future. And that's not in a way of looking at it in this toxic, positive way. It's just something that I have to accept so I can move on with my life. I'm 26, like I have a lot of years left, God willing, you know? Talking about that and just kind of talk about that idea of radical acceptance over 9 tracks, 9 different stories. And the way this album is set up was very, very heavily inspired by Jasmine Sullivan's recent album, Hotels, which is amazing. You should all go check it out. And it's a way that it was so vulnerable and just really got into some really deep shit. And I was like, well, I want to do that. So I did it. So just to kind of talk through the tracks. So the first track is Just Because I Have a Dick Doesn't Mean I'm a Man. And it's basically about me talking about coming out as trans, being black, being fat, being queer. A lot of things that are hated in the world for just existing. And she's getting my frustration out. And it was really just me hopping on the mic. And it took a couple times and I had to just let go. I had to like not act. I had to just talk. How I'm talking to y'all right now, and I was angry, you know, so and I'm always angry, but the thing I'm really trying to get across in that track is just like, go focus on yourself. Like, instead of putting all this hatred and negativity onto me, people that look like me, you know, so many other demographics that are just so hated, and go focus on yourself. Go figure out why the hell you have so much anger and hate inside of you. Go heal. So leading from that goes into track 2, Face to Face, which is my process of like trying to swim through the way of my inner universe and figure out what causes me to have my own hatred. What tension am I holding on from my childhood? What tension am I holding on from an argument 2 years ago? You know, why do I still have some certain thoughts that are like not okay? You know, just trying to figure out a lot of shit by myself. And I just really see it as the galaxy and the universe that is inside of me. So you're kind of swimming through all of that and me navigating that, and there's a lot of dissonance. There's some moments of, you know, some chords, but a lot of it isn't because it's all confusing. I'm trying to like just get a bunch of stuff out. And this track was on the opening concert of Composers Now. So it's the same visual. So I made a visual with my 360 camera, and it's very spacey. I highly recommend putting your YouTube at the highest possible quality setting. It's a very dark visual, and it's that way because it's supposed to be space and there's little lights. You'll see. Track 3 on the album and track 4, which are not in this video because they are very long, is Inner Child, and it's based off of John Coltrane's Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And it's one of my favorite all-time records ever, and it's just so raw. It's so raw, and I wanted that. So I got with my like really good friend, favorite collaborator, Jesse Cox on drums, and just laid down a track, and we doubled on top of it, and it just tells a story of my inner child, and like Little Joy went through some shit, okay? So I just wanted to tell that story, and there's a lot of beauty and there's a lot of pain in there, and ooh, when I get angry, the Texas jumps out, okay? So you'll hear the hymn Down in the Valley, and that just goes in and out because that is the hymn of my childhood. Like, that is the hymn I always heard with my grandma. You know, she still sings that to all of us. Thank God she's still with us. So that track, it just really gets a lot out. And the next track is my grandma singing. So it's Mima, it's Marjorie. She's out here. And I'm just so happy she was excited to collaborate with me on this. It's just so important that we document our elders. You know, our time with anybody on earth is so precious, especially our grandparents. So after that, we have 72 hour, which is based off of 72-hour hold in psychiatric center or the hospital. And it's essentially what it is. I wanted to create this track that really has no sense of time. Because when you're trapped in the room, you have no sense of time. It's just very fuzzy. It's a lot of static. And I wanted to just really make that landscape within this track. And I made it all on Ableton. All of the electronics you'll hear are on Ableton Live. And that is a whole different system that we're not gonna get into that. But it was a learning process to use that platform, and I'm really happy I did. It really helped me express myself. After that, you have Why is Toxicity So Yummy? And the best way to make this family friendly is just, I had a relationship that did not go very well. There were some very good things in the relationship. There were some very bad things in this relationship. I chose to look at the good things when I should have been pay attention to the bad things. Look at the red flags. I waited till the sky was red, just pouring, like raining red, for me to be like, okay, I need to get out of this. He is not it. So, do better than me. Jump ship ahead of time. So, I just want to tell that story. You'll hear the love. You'll hear the manipulation. You'll hear the constant repeating of the I love yous, but also the screaming. And, just all that kind of shit that we go through in relationships that necessarily we don't talk about out loud. And that track has Jesse Cox, Oli Harris, Alfredo Colon, and Nick Dunstan, and me. And it was really fun because I grew up playing, well, I didn't grow up playing bassoon, but I grew up in the classical setting, or a wind band, so I didn't really play in a jazz combo. So getting to do this was truly incredible and like a big step for me, and to really get out of my comfort zone with instrumentation. So it was such a fun time, and we recorded all of it remotely, well, at the same time, but remotely, and technology is incredible. Like, recording online is really difficult. It's so much better to be in the same space, but I am very grateful for what we have because it made this record possible. Then we have How to Breathe While Dying, which has been a long-term project of mine, and it's a piece basically about me having bipolar disorder, and it's talking about how do I live with this disorder? How do I live with this painful disorder that has caused me a lot of trauma and pain? And how do I not really find beauty in it? I don't want to find beauty in something that causes me pain. I want to find beauty in my life. I am not bipolar. Well, I'm bipolar. What am I trying to say? My disorder does not define me. I'm Joy Guidry, and I happen to have bipolar disorder, so I'm going to live my life and just happen to have the shit. So, yes. So it's just about that, and it's crunchy. It's a lot of different gospels coming in and out, a lot of different hymns, if you want to call it that. It's all me, like it's all improvised, but it was really based off of Oprah Winfrey's gospel brunch from 2005. Like, I remember watching it on TV and was so inspired. And there was this one gospel song, and each gospel legend got on there and just like kept going off. So you kind of hear this melody keep coming in different ways, different rips, different runs. And it ends with the melody coming in this huge land of different harmonies and a whole different tone. And it's me radically accepting, that my life is going to be wonderful. My life is going to have pain. My life is going to have heartbreak. Hopefully no sickness. Hopefully I will be in great health forever. But my life is going to have some bad shit in it. And I have to accept that, I don't have to accept harsh treatment or being disrespected, but like to think I'm going to go through my life and not experience hard shit is like stupid. So it's not going to work out for me. So I just accept that, and it's me really accepting who I am and not living my life in fear of like judgment from other people. I only get this one life, and like, yes, I'm from the South. I grew up in the church. Well, not grew up in the church, but religion was a big part of my life. It still is. I had a lot of fear. I was like, oh my God, like my family's not gonna talk to me no more. I'm gonna lose friends because I'm trans, and like that didn't happen. Like, I'm still loved by all parties, that was just said. And yeah, I mean, my career is not what I thought it would be, and I'm really happy with what I'm doing. And I'm still living the life I always dreamed. I live in New York, like, and I'm a full-time artist. It's such a blessing. So it's just like accepting all of these things in this one track, and this track means so much to me. Yes, so then we have Voice of the Ancestors, which is a performance from 2019 at Riverside Church in Manhattan. And I got to play with these three amazing traditional drummers, and it really changed my life. I was absolutely terrified to go do that performance, but I did it. And I would not change it in any other way. It just truly changed my life. It's like what really got me into the improv scene and just this form of blackness of, you know, we were playing for the 400th year of being stolen and brought to this country. And I don't, this form of Afrofuturism of just like taking the bassoon, which, you know, is a German instrument, but playing with traditional African drummers and like this combination, like it did something. So I love this track, and it just like really inspired me to dive so much deeper into Black improvisation, Blackness in so many different ways, different forms of Black art forms, you know, literature, everything. Because if you notice, all the things they call masterworks or greatest of all time, most of the time is white shit. So I wanted to get out of that, and I have. So the last track is Grace, and it is about giving myself grace. It is forgiving myself for things I've done in the past. It's for moving on and accepting that, like, I can only go up from here. I can only improve. And if I feel myself taking a step back in life, I have to give myself grace. If there's anything I've learned from my religion, you know, being a Christian, is that, like, we gotta give ourselves a little more credit. We gotta give ourselves more grace. We have to hold ourselves accountable. But at the end of the day, you gonna die. You know, we are all going to die one day, and I don't want to be, like, in my last moments of the 5 stages of grief or acceptance, I don't know. But, and being like, damn, I should have forgave myself for that a long time ago. I'm gonna do that now. So that's what that track is. And it's kind of the same harmonies from the beginning, because you're now leaving my body, and there's still conflict in there. You'll still hear the dissonance, but it's a lot more pure. And I am not healed, but I'm in a much better place than I was beforehand. So yes, this is radical acceptance. This is my art. This is where my art is headed. I love to talk about trauma. I love to talk about the hard things to talk about, but I want to do it in a healthy way. I want to make it very clear. I do not think we should be romanticizing our pain to make great art. You know, if we find inspiration from it or we want to tell a story, go at it, but do not put yourself in a harmful mind space to make something that's great art. That is damaging. We do not support that over here. But yes, I hope you enjoy this album. You can purchase it on Bandcamp. Stream it, but please go to Bandcamp. You know, we know how Spotify treats artists. So keep sharing with your friends. The love and support already has been fantastic, and I greatly appreciate each of you. And I hope you enjoy Radical Acceptance. You will hear most of the album. You will not hear 72 Hours, Inner Child, or My Grandma Singing, but you can if you buy it. So thank you so much again to Composers Now for having me, and I hope you enjoy my album. Much love.
Every day when I wake up, I would be pretty confused on when I go look at the mirror, you know, just get my day started, why I had this gut feeling that I wasn't happy. And through so many years of weight loss or getting different tattoos, trying different haircuts, I still couldn't figure out, like, all right, bitch, like, what do you want? What is going to make you happy? What is going to help you see yourself? And then I finally realized it's none of that. It's not the weight loss. It's nothing I can change on my body cosmetically like that. It's that I don't like the gender I was assigned, that I don't align myself with those things. And that was a couple years ago when I figured that shit out. But just the hate that I've been given for learning how to love myself, for learning to love my fat body, to learn to love my fat Black body, to learn to love my fat Black queer non-binary body. Yes, it's a lot of titles, but like, goddamn, it all makes sense to me, you know? And that's all that fucking matters. I don't fucking understand how me loving myself in a healthy way has anything to fucking do with anybody else. You know, so much of the world is transphobic, fatphobic, anti-Black, homophobic, everything. All of the isms and obias. But you know what they're not worried about? There is a man in every person's life who's about, well, damn too old to be doing this, but they have fucking skid marks in their underwear. How are we worried about what I'm doing? How are we worried about what I align myself with? How I identify? When you need to learn to, like, fucking help the man in your life how to wipe his motherfucking ass. I just don't understand. But you know, one day, everyone's gonna have to face their demons. Everyone's gonna have to face all the hate that they put out into the world. And I pray that you can handle it. I pray that you can handle everything that you put out coming right back to your ass.
So yes, that's my album. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you hear me. I hope you hear what I was trying to say. I hope you see me. You know, I hope you see yourself and hear yourself in there. But yes, thank you again to Composers Now. And this has been a wonderful time collaborating with y'all on this project. And yes, you can purchase this album again on Bandcamp. Please keep in touch with me on Instagram. You'll see a little slide for that in a second. But yes, I hope y'all all have a really wonderful rest of the year. Spring is coming soon. For all the New Yorkers, you know, the sun is coming back. And I wish all of you so much well and many blessings. And yes, that was my practice of radical acceptance. And yeah, I truly wish each of you the best. Bye.